So 2 o'clock on Friday, if you'd like to go help cut a ribbon. Snip. Anything else? Okay, we are just about to formulate how it works, but if you're working out of your home and you're thinking you'd like an office space, we've had some spare desks here for a while that we're going to turn into workspace that you can rent by the week or by the month. So we'll come up with more details about that. But particularly if you think this is a really cool space, which we do, and you like coffee and those like water-flavored drinks, this could be a really good place to work because we have those in the fridge. So come talk to us if that interests you. Okay, Christina, thank you for coming. I'm going to hand it over to you and you can introduce what you do.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Good morning. Thank you for coming out. As he mentioned last minute, but I was totally available. Again, my name is Christina Perez, and I am the owner of Wehpah food truck, new and upcoming Puerto Rican food truck. So I think this is awesome because the Rockford community is not knowledgeable or educated on what Puerto Rican food is too much. And I've learned that because, well, I have a Puerto Rican food truck. Here's the thing. How I got started with cooking, first of all, it started from a very young age. I want to say I was about 10 or 11. I am one of many children, and I'm somewhere in the middle. And my father was a single father. He's a good cook, but he was so busy that there was quick meals all the time. Quick. So I remember my very first meal was baked chicken, au gratin potatoes, and canned vegetables. Okay, did an okay job. And from there, it just grew and grew and grew. Well, of course, I have a Puerto Rican background, so I started getting into that. And we have amazing cooks in our family. So I started taking a look and seeing what they were doing. And my first pot of Puerto Rican rice that I put together ended up to be glue. But from there, it just grew and grew and grew. Here's the thing. I completely have a passion for cooking since then. And it grew because of my father, but because he was such a hard worker and just totally gave to his children and did whatever he could for us, I knew I had an obligation to give back to him. And the only thing that I could do was cook for him. But come home from work, there's a meal. Breakfast in the morning, awesome. But he loved it. He couldn't wait to get home. What's for dinner today? What's for dinner? So that was my obligation to give back to him through that. When I left for college, he was so sad. He was like, please come back home. But I still make sure I feed him on his lunch breaks now. But anyway, so I just opened my Puerto Rican food truck June, so almost 4 months. I'm so new. But God is so good because it literally went from this small circle of supporters and it blew up in 4 months, almost 4 months. And I think that's so amazing because people are venturing out. People are willing to try new things rather than driving an hour and a half away, Chicago, Elgin, Aurora, those places that offer Puerto Rican food. You don't have to do that anymore. I'm right here. But they're willing to try these new dishes, these new Puerto Rican dishes that I offer, and it's awesome. So I'm still working on the Rockford community, though, and helping them to gain knowledge about the culture, about the food. Hey, here's a sample. Try this, try that. I don't have a consistent location where I'm at because a lot of businesses are reaching out to me and booking the food truck. So that's awesome because they're willing to try. So let me explain to you what Wehpah is. You're like, what's Wehpah? different name. Where did it come from? Wehpah, it's traditionally spelled W-E-P-A. My food truck is W-E-H-P-A-H. Why? Had to be different. I don't know. But it's catchy. But what Wehpah is a Puerto Rican expression of excitement. So how I won't scare you, but how you say it is, or it's pronounced Wehpah, but how would you say it? You're supposed to carry the E for as long as you can and carry the A just as long. So I won't scare you, but you can think of it, Wehpah. So it's an expression of excitement, kind of how Greeks say opa, Puerto Ricans say Wehpah. So it's supposed to, when you try the food, you're supposed to Wehpah. So that's how I came up with the name, but I wanted to spell it differently. And it worked out. And people can actually pronounce it better that way, the way that I spell it. If it's W-E-P-A, I had a few people, how do you say this? How do you say W-E-P-A? Wehpah. No, not Wehpah. Wehpah. So the way I spell it, they're able to pronounce it. So that's the meaning behind Wehpah. And again, my goal is to educate and to introduce the Rockford community and surrounding cities to Puerto Rican culture, to the Puerto Rican food. That's what you're going to be introduced to. But a lot of people have, believe it or not, have questions about the culture. And I'm more than willing to share that. So, let's see, what else can I share with you? I do have a Facebook and an Instagram page. Again, you can follow, like to follow. It's W-E-H-P-A-H, again, food truck. And if you follow that on Facebook, you'll be able to see the location, where I'm at, the times, pictures, descriptions of food. Awesome thing is, when the food truck is not out, I do a lot of catering. What I specialize in when I bring the food truck out, I specialize in, of course, Puerto Rican food, but on the food truck, I specialize in empanadas. Are you guys familiar with the empanada? Okay, I see a lot of yeses. So to basically break down an empanada, what it is in Puerto Ricans call them pastelillos. Same thing. So an empanada is basically a dough-filled turnover. You can fill it with, I fill it with meat, but you can fill it with anything, right? And then you close it up, looks like a mini calzone, and you deep fry it. Okay, so on the food truck, I specialize in beef, chicken, and I just came out with a vegetarian empanada. Awesome. It's really good. And beef, chicken, or vegetarian empanada, Puerto Rican style. Why Puerto Rican style? I use a fresh homemade base called sofrito that I season the meat with, along with a ton of other Spanish style seasonings. It's so delicious. You guys have to try it. And then Puerto Rican rice. And of course I have for the kids hot dogs, nachos, things like that. But that's what I specialize in on the food truck. Off of the food truck, you can order empanadas if you like, but I do catering. Weddings, baby showers, graduations, birthday parties, that was a new one. Anything you can think of. I've even had someone order the food for an after wedding. I guess that's something new people are doing, like after the wedding, here's some McDonald's cheeseburgers. Well, now you can have empanadas after the wedding. So, yeah, catering. But with the catering, I really focus on traditional Puerto Rican dishes, like big dishes. So the empanadas are more like fast, pick up and go, eat, this is good. But catering, you can really get a feel for what Puerto Rican food is. So traditional Puerto Rican rice, There, we have a Puerto Rican lasagna called pastelón. You can try fried plantains if you've never had fried plantains before. Red beans and rice, Puerto Rican style. Just all these delicious things that a lot of people are scared to try. So here in Rockford, of course, they are familiar with the Mexican culture, Mexican food. And again, it's my duty with this business now, it's my duty to introduce you guys, the Rockford community, surrounding cities, to Puerto Rican food. So I hope that you guys will be able to venture out, reach out, and try. I do give away a lot of food. So maybe you'll be able to, hey, I've never tried before. Maybe you'll be the lucky one. Here you go. Try it out. What do you think? So, yeah, that's, any questions for me? What do you?
Okay, before we get to the questions, so at 1 Million Cups, we ask the same 4 questions to every presenter. Okay. So I'm going to ask those, which I wrote down because my brain sometimes doesn't work. So using the catch box, which we'll throw, can anyone say what is the product or service that Christina was talking about?
Puerto Rican food truck.
Puerto Rican food truck.
Catering.
And catering, okay. Who is the target audience?
Oh, I was just also going to add culture. You're presenting
And also
Puerto Rican culture.
Yes.
Okay. And the culture. And then, who is the target audience?
Everyone who eats.
Me. Okay. Third question, what is amazing about the management team or about Christina? I don't know if there's more than you.
I'll hand over the box, but I'd like to say what is amazing is your connection to your product, your connection to your business. You've brought your family, your culture, everything into it, so it's all in, and it's great to see.
Thank you.
Any other comments? I still want to see the catch box thrown, really.
Yeah, right. Couldn't hand it around. Authenticity, I would say.
Okay,
Oh,
at the back
thank you.
there. There we go.
Oh, I'd say your passion is very exciting.
Thank you.
Passion.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay. And then lastly, where are you stuck? What would you like us to do to help?
So here's where I'm, again, only 4 months old, but it is growing. But I still struggle, and I still hear when I'm out, I've never tried that before. So I'm stuck with, even if I give free samples, here's, you don't have to buy, here, try this. That's okay, I've never tried. So here's where I'm stuck. Some people are not willing to venture out. So here's my challenge to you, to think outside of the box and try it out. Try it out. If you haven't, try it out. I promise it's not scary, it's not gross. It's good, it's delicious, we can talk about it. I'm very descriptive and detailed in what's in the food and what I can offer to you, bring to you, but I promise it's good, you'll like it. But that is where I am stuck right now. It is.
Do you find that that's more the case when there's multiple food trucks out and people have the choice, or if you're on your own somewhere and it's just you?
Even when I'm on my own,
Okay.
not very often. A lot of people are willing now, ever since they've even heard about me. But I still get, I've never tried that before. So
Okay.
I'm really trying my hardest through the business pages, through word of mouth, and word of mouth. It's awesome. It's awesome. I mean, I don't think I haven't. I don't think I've met any of you guys here today, but word of mouth is great. And that's where I'm stuck at.
Okay.
Yeah. You guys can try it out. That'll help me out.
Any responses to that you want to say? Any ideas? Okay, let's throw the catch box over here. It's just so people can pick us up on the live stream.
I'm an artist, but I'm also very socially awkward and shy.
Okay.
So it took a lot of courage to come out here
Thank you.
and try something new. So, and I love photography. So I was thinking in my mind as you was talking, I was like, I should take pictures and share your story on my blog, because I
Okay.
blog, on
Yeah.
Instagram. So
Hey,
I want to say.
stepping out of your comfort zone.
And I'm new here in Rockford. I just
Awesome.
moved here. So.
Awesome.
Well, welcome.
See? Yes, welcome. And that's awesome that you're stepping out of your comfort zone, and that's what I'm asking for others to do. It takes courage, but it's amazing. I'm glad you came. I really am. I really am.
Back over here. Just throw it over.
Really? Okay. Okay.
There you go. All right. There you go.
All right, well, I thought of something, when you're describing the empanadas, using some common descriptors. Because, if I were to tell my dad, about going down and getting an empanada, I would simply tell him it's a Puerto Rican pasty.
Okay.
A pasty is, for a lot of Europeans.
Like a pastry?
Yeah, well,
Okay.
it's kind of like a turnover, except for,
Okay.
and it's a meat pie.
Yes.
And so so using some common recognizing what you're making, and then common descriptors of what people might know, and then being able to transfer that over.
Okay.
I say, if I tell my dad we're going to go down and get some Puerto Rican pasties, he's all in.
He's on. He's in.
That was my thought. I grew up with Cornish pasties because I grew up in England.
Yeah.
So my take on it was it's a fried pasty.
Okay. Yes, I've had many descriptions.
Okay.
Deep fried taco. I've had a meat pie. And then here's my big long description, but then when they say theirs, it's much better. They can relate.
The other one I think that you used was calzone.
Yeah.
Which I think a lot of people are. So a mini fried calzone is a good description with meat in it.
Okay.
Yeah, so just using descriptors that they're going to recognize, and when they recognize it, then it becomes familiar, and it's not completely different.
There you go. See, I appreciate the input. Yeah, I do.
And I know I was saying to Bailey most of this week at about 11, something like, I'm really hungry. What are the food options? Every Thursday we have it almost penned down on the calendar that there's a Greek food truck just around the corner. So I don't know if there's a place that you can get a regular booking at, but that'll spread through word of mouth. And I know my wife, who works around the corner, will send an order in every Thursday, and I'll go and pick it up from her. So if there's something and we know where you're at, your reputation is going to spread.
I know. I'm really trying to work on consistency because someone recommended that to me, and it would totally help out. And I'm trying to work on it right now. I think because I'm so new, I'm being pulled every way, and they're like, let's try. So I'm like, Monday here, Tuesday here, Wednesday there. But in the future, I'm sure it will get better, consistency. But right now, I say I'm in the Rockford area and surrounding cities, and to just follow the page so you can see, because really that's where I'm at right now. But let's work on something because this is where you guys are at, and I want you to try. So
There's a question behind you. You're going to get picked up by the live stream so they can hear you.
So as you travel around the country, over the last 4 or 5 years, there's food truck events all over the freaking country. Obviously, they have to be promoted, and you have to know where they're going to be, because they could be in the middle of nowheres, and people show up. Gives you a family options rather than we're going to Chinese tonight. It gives everyone their options, so it's a good thing. What color's your truck, and what events have you been to? Because I don't remember your truck.
okay, so I'm glad I know I can talk, but I'm glad you mentioned this. So the color of my truck is mainly white with a red base, and then up on the top it has a red, white, and blue Wehpah. So I do have a symbol, and I'm working on that symbol with some more of my products, but red, white, and blue Wehpah on the top, and it has a star with a flower in the center. So you probably will remember this now because I'm describing it to you, but the star is significant to the Puerto Rican flag. There's 5 stripes with a blue triangle and 1 star. some people say, oh, awesome Texas flag. But the star is significant to the Puerto Rican flag, and then the flower is similar to a hibiscus flower. It looks just like it, but that's the national flower of Puerto Rico. So red, white, and blue are the colors of the flag, so that's why I chose that. So, and it's a big, it's actually a food truck, nobody says food trailer. So events that I've been to, I just had an official, although it's been 4 months, I really just started really getting out there. But 2 weeks ago, September 7th, I had an official grand opening at Don Carter Lanes on East State Street. And it was awesome. I have a lady named Paula Olson help me out. She's a president of Miracle Mile. That's East State, that strip there. I've had the president of MASA. It's a nonprofit organization that he has. His name is Manuel Salgado. He's helped me significantly. Him and his wife have even became my friend because they're just awesome people. And they just helped me tremendously with the grand opening, as well as marketing, advertising, and I'm just so appreciative for them. But the grand opening, amazing, guys. The grand opening, I expected maybe 50 people, 40 people or less. And we had a ribbon cutting ceremony. It was advertised very well. News stations, 97 ZOK, the newspaper, it was awesome, right? So I'm like, okay, 30, 40 people. They were there for the ribbon cutting, the ceremony, but then when it was time to get in line for food, holy cow, way to the back, almost to the street, no lie, almost to the street. And I'm taking orders, interacting with people, thanking them for coming, and I take a moment to look and wow. So, believe it or not, I actually sold out, ran out of food in an hour. And I was very grateful, but I ran out of the empanadas, so I started giving free rice away and beverages. Because I was like, oh no, they can't even try, but they still got a little taste of Puerto Rican food. And so last week was Tamale Fest, this past Saturday. I don't know if you've heard about it, but Tamale Fest, awesome event. This is the 4th year that they ran it. Amazing event, amazing diversity. It was just awesome. Even though I was in the food truck most of the time, I did venture out once in a while to speak with people and look to see what was around me. But it was an amazing event. So next year is going to be the 5th year, so I'm sure it's going to be like big time, and so keep your eyes open for that. It's always in September, so September of next year. But that was my biggest event so far. But if you follow that page, Wehpah Food Truck on Facebook, you'll see new and upcoming events and locations. But I'm so glad that you asked that question. Sorry, I get a little deep into the question sometimes. So, yeah.
Okay, one last question from anyone? Okay, I want to thank you for coming, particularly at short notice.
No
Normally
problem.
at this point we give you a 1 million cup, but we haven't got any.
It's okay.
So next week on our list of things to do for Jason is to come back with some cups.
No problem.
So maybe we'll get that to you
No
when
problem.
you park down there on a Tuesday and we can go for lunch. Okay. And then the coffee sponsor today, thank you. I had it on my notes and then forgot about it. Calvary Bookkeeping supplied the coffee. She's actually left. But let's thank her on the live stream for the coffee. You can applaud.
Thank you.
And we'll see you here next week at 9 o'clock for another time round where this week's speaker is supposed to be speaking. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.